Little early, but we're live. We're all the way live.
Sweet.
Let's do this stuff here. Record. Let's hit the theme song, shall we?
Let's do it.
Good evening, Timothy. How are you?
I'm good. What's going on, Mr. Antonelli?
Not too much. Just hanging out here, 8 o'clock on a nice, very lovely Tuesday evening. I'm off work tomorrow, so I'm looking to have a good time. Drinking a Coke Zero with, of course, Black Panther on it for some reason. Why?
Okay.
I don't know. Is this a very, very old soda or what? I don't know. When was the last Black Panther movie? I mean, the goddamn guys passed away, sadly.
Yeah. So maybe 3 years ago. So you have like an aged wine over there.
Oh, wait. Is there a lady Black Panther? Because I'm seeing some breasts.
The person that kind of took over was his sister, Shuri. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot there was another movie after he died.
Yeah.
How was that?
I liked it. Like,
Mhm.
it's almost like the third installment of the Christopher Nolan Batmans where, I think he had plans for Heath Ledger, and then, your big villain star dies. So you did the best you could with being dealt a shit hand.
And you killed the other villain from the movie.
Yeah.
Whoops. Can't bring him back. So we got to go Bane. Now, I haven't seen the third Batman since I was in theaters, and we saw it, of course, at the Franklin Institute. And those who haven't been to the Franklin Institute IMAX, it's a big fucking, it's like a half circle, right?
Yeah, it's almost like a planetarium.
Yeah. And we sat way too close for that type of environment. And I swear to God, and it's a long movie, watched the whole thing like looking straight up. It was not a great time. By the end of it, my ass was killing me for some reason. Like, I don't know, but
I saw like laser light shows there. I definitely saw Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin. And
hell yeah.
I think those chairs were just super uncomfortable because I vaguely remember my ass hurting too.
That sounds more fun though. Laser light show at the planetarium.
Oh yeah. And I'm not even like, at that point, I not like I even do psychedelics now, but at that point, that wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah.
And still had a friggin' blast. Those were so cool.
You're not that type of guy that goes to that type of thing. Like, hey man, it's gonna be fucking awesome, man.
You bring up a good point though, because like I've watched Batman Begins and The Dark Knight a zillion times, and I've only watched the third one in theater that one time and never rewatched it.
You either? Wow. Yeah, I should check it out. It's probably good.
Yeah, I think it got a bad rap, and yeah, like coming back to almost like Spider-Man 3, I think you can go back to that and be like, you know what?
Thomas Hayden Church rocks.
Yeah. I'm blanking on, was it Sam Raimi was the director?
Did he do all three of the first three?
Yes. And the third one gets shit on for some good reasons, but like now listening to like too many podcasts about it, I'm like, all right, the studio stepped in and said, this has to happen. This movie has to have Venom. He vehemently fought against it, but they were like, nope, has to happen. And then the movie kind of sucked because of it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Doesn't that always the way? Won't studios learn? Stop fucking getting your fingers in the pot. Just let the fucking guy make his movie.
Right.
You don't know what you're doing. They just want to sell fucking action figures. Well, guess what? If you just put out a Venom action figure, it'll sell because Venom is cool. I bought one when I was a little kid. I didn't know what the fuck his story was. I didn't know he was bad.
He just looks cool as hell.
Super cool. he squeezed his legs together, his big venom jaw open. He kicked all the other action figures' asses for a while because he was the coolest one.
Yeah, like my favorite G.I. Joe was always Snake Eyes because he just looked cool as fuck. I think he might have been part of Cobra.
No, Snake Eyes is good.
Okay, all right.
Storm Shadow, his brother, is bad.
Got
Snake
it.
Eyes is good, and he doesn't talk. He's a mute. I didn't see the. I think I did see the first movie. That was
I did too, but I don't remember it because I don't think it was very memorable.
No, it was not like Barbie, where Barbie kids were like, yes. It was G.I. Joe kids were like, fuck. Well, they fucked us again. That's what they said. Sorry about this bright ass hat, but
my color on my camera is a little off too.
You look good. You look almost like you're being filmed on like a VHS camcorder or something.
Yeah. There's some sort of like haze,
it's a cool filter you got going on.
Yeah.
Of course, this episode is on video and audio on YouTube.
Holly Parker's probably watching.
Holly Parker, hello. Thank you, anyone, for watching and listening. This is, of course, Mike Calls Timmy, the name of the show that we never say, episode number 26. But we don't say that because we're just having a phone call and you're listening in. It's not like a show. Okay. So what's been up with you, Tim? I just saw you sent a picture to one of the many group chats we're in together of some outdoor work you got going on.
Yeah. So it was Memorial Day weekend this past weekend, and I just kind of like texted my parents maybe like Thursday. I was like, hey, you guys doing anything on Sunday? They're like, and they said no. So I invited them over. Plus we've had these lights, these outdoor lights, for a long time that we had plans to hang them up outside because we have a fence that encapsulates our little like concrete pad out there. And then there's these big old posts that like extend beyond the top of the fences that we could easily be stringing lights to them. And I just, Kat bought the lights, never got the motivation to do it. So anyway, invited parents over on Sunday. Dad brought his staple gun, so we hung those fuckers up, and then I cooked a bunch of shit on the grill that I didn't miraculously overcook.
Good job.
And everybody was happy.
And the lights worked?
Yeah, lights work great. I mean, it did rain, I guess, kind of recently, so I should check them out again to make sure the rain didn't screw them up. But
I mean, an outdoor seating area with the string lights across, I mean, that's a good vibe, brother, isn't that?
So we turned them on later, even after my parents left, and like they give just enough light so that you can see the steps, to the back door, but not too much light that it just kills the vibe. They're quite perfect.
Good. Are they solar? Or are they battery? Or are they plug in?
They're plug in, and there is an outlet back there, so it was easy to just plug them right in.
Look at that. Yeah, we have solar ones in our yard. Not the best solar. But what can you do? I still like them. I love that look. I think it's great. Restaurants that do it, you're doing it right. Okay. I recently this was probably a month ago at this point, but Sal was away for a few days. So Sal is my son, for those who just turned 1, by the way. And so I was like, fuck yeah, Sal's away. I can do so much yard work uninterrupted. So I was out in the yard, fucking, of course you got the mowing and the edging, the monthly stuff. But then there was also all kinds of fucking vines and all this shit I was cutting down. I was way into the fucking pulling everything out, making several areas look very nice, right? But I was doing this, of course, in a tank top. Why not? That's what I do. And
weather's getting good. Yeah, do it.
Brother, for the first time in my life, in my 36 years on Earth, I got what I had thought I was immune to, but am not, poison ivy. And I got it bad. Like it
Where?
was. So it started on my arm. All like a couple days after Sal was home at this point. I'm sitting in his room with him and I start itching. Then I look down and it's like, badoosh. What is that? Like, that's a big ass rash. What the fuck? And then I sent a picture of it to my Doom Thugs group text because Tammy was like, I think you have poison ivy, but you might have some other terrible disease. What's going on? Do we have to go to the hospital? I was like, oh shit. Sent a picture to my Doom Thugs group text, and immediately Adam was like, yeah, that's poison ivy.
That seems like something Adam would immediately spot.
Like, you got poison ivy. And I was like, oh shit. Now I don't know what to do. Like, so I'm thinking, because I know when I was a kid, if a kid had poison ivy and they said, if you touch me, you'll get it, which is not true, folks. Because I was like, oh fuck, did I just rub poison ivy all over my infant son's entire body? Luckily not. But man, so it started here, right? And I mean, have you ever had it?
Yeah, I had it a couple times when I was younger up in the Adirondacks.
It itches.
Dude, and you know, people are just like, well, just resist the urge to itch it. It's like, you don't understand.
You really don't understand. And then so it's like all here. So I get the wash and I get all kinds of lotions and stuff. Next day, some more starts popping up on my side. And some more starts popping up on my leg. Then I send a message to my doctor. I'm like, hey, I think I have poison ivy. I don't know what to do. Whatever. And they were like, wrote back and like, let's do a telehealth meeting with the doctor. Called him up, told him what was wrong. Got on FaceTime or whatever with him. Showed him. It was like, yeah, you got poison ivy. Do you want steroids or do you want just this hardcore cream? Because you have poison ivy, you're going to have it until it goes away. And it's going to take it takes a while. I was like, as long as I can't spread it to my kid, whatever. I don't need the steroids. Let's just do the cream.
Yeah, just give me something to subside.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm doing chamomile. I'm doing hydroxy 10 or whatever. I'm doing the wash that has beads in it, But when you fall, like, it was the worst when I would wake up. So I'd be like dead asleep. Then I wake up in the middle of the night and I just couldn't stop. Like, just fucking itching. I would put my hand in a sock and rub it just because when you itch it looks terrible, like you're dying. Like, it fucking looks raw. I'll post a picture of it. But it sucked. And then, okay, so I got this cream in the mail, or not the mail, from the pharmacy. I apply that and all that shit, whatever. And then the next day, because it keeps spreading, it keeps popping up different places. And then the next day after my doctor's appointment, it pops up somewhere. Timmy, do you want to guess the last spot it spread to? Do you want to venture a guess?
It's definitely your genitals.
On my dick. Full on. Wake up. And it's like, oh, fuck. Oh, no. Because it was like on my leg. And it was like, whatever. It's like, I'm okay. And then I wake up and it's like, I've got poison ivy on my dick. This sucks.
This is like straight out of a comedy movie.
So I email the doctor back immediately. I'm like, hey, doc, listen. So I know we decided against the steroids originally, but it's spread to some more sensitive areas where I don't feel comfortable putting this hardcore cream. Think you can call me in that prednisone, babe? Then I get a call back from the nurse practitioner, who was a woman who was laughing at me.
As she should.
Yeah. It was funny. And then she called me in the prednisone, took the prednisone, and then, the more minor areas cleared up pretty quick, like my dick, minor as in small, and you know, took the prednisone. Really helped out a lot. But then I mean, the visible rash is pretty much gone. Thank God. I thought I was scarred, but I still get some itching sometimes. I don't know if it's like phantom itching or whatever, but it's still like, and I feel like I look like I was wearing long sleeves at work as much as I could, but there was a couple days where it was really hot, so I couldn't. And I was like, I definitely look like a fucking drug addict.
Yeah.
But man, that sucked. I do not want poison ivy again. Fuck poison ivy.
Well, more importantly, did you discover where it was, like in your yard?
No, I have no idea.
Oh shit.
There's all kind. I was in so many different areas, cutting down so much different shit. I think it's one of two areas, but I don't know. Also, I'm not. I mean, how can you tell? I mean, I don't know if it was ivy poison, sumac poison. You know what I mean? It was some sort of poison plant that gave me a reaction. But
my dad taught me it from a young age how to spot poison ivy. So that's like why when we moved in here, this tree,
it's got 3 leaves and it's shiny, right?
Yep. And the edges of it are smooth, not like little cuts or little ridges.
Oh shit. Okay.
But yeah, it has a little sheen or shine to it. But yeah, that's why when we moved in here, this tree that's out back, like that is in the middle of the fence that divides me from my neighbor. I spotted the poison ivy like immediately because it was growing from the bottom of the trunk all the way up it. So I got a spray immediately and sprayed the shit out of it. I even got out on my like little. I'm on the second floor here in my office, and there's a little bit of a roof right out my window here, and I got on that and sprayed more of the poison ivy. So it's completely dead, like about 20 feet up, but it goes further up the tree. Yeah. So it grows on all sorts of shit. It's truly a weed. But yeah, I don't think it really discriminates where it grows. It can be anywhere.
Yeah. Stay away, folks.
It could have been not poison ivy. It could have been another like poisonous plant.
I don't want
nuts, though.
Oh man, it sucked. But we're free and clear now. Now I'm much more cautious. I just got to wear, sleeves, but I don't like to.
Shit. Like I typically I haven't mowed a lawn in a while, but when I did, I would always wear pants, like jeans.
Yeah.
Because especially when you're edging, that shit flies back at your shins and it can hurt.
Oh yeah. I got overalls I wear.
Okay.
But I want the arms to get some sun. Come on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But fuck it. I'll get it again. Who cares? I already survived it on my dick of all places.
He did.
Oh, what a nightmare. But that's summer.
I don't want to
get your yard work done, folks.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like I've said before, one small compromise with this place is that we don't have a yard. It'd be nice to have a little bit of a patch of grass, but whatever. We're happy here.
You get some planters or something. Get a little herb garden or something going. Get some green back there.
Cat started that process, actually.
Nice.
But yeah, I was just going to say, I don't want to like steer the conversation, but I feel like we should talk some sports because like we usually save that for the end.
Okay.
And I feel like we haven't like just gotten into it off the bat.
Let's get into it. What's on your mind? Because I do have a lot to say.
Okay. Well, like first we can talk Phils because it is baseball season. I guess right off top of mind, we were just talking about it in our group chat where Angel Hernandez got fired, and you were mentioning how you're very against the robo strike zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Angel Hernandez was, for those that don't know, he's a historically bad umpire who definitely seemed like he was just being bad on purpose for attention. You know what I mean? He like leaned into how bad he was, and it sucked. But he finally retired in the middle of the season.
It was kind of odd how abrupt it was, but yeah, sorry.
I guess, I don't know, who knows, but he's gone and the game is better for it. But because now, so we have review. We have video review in baseball now, right? Because they want to get the calls right. So that removes some of the human element. But there's always talk, and I think they might be even doing it in the minor leagues, of the strike zone being like robotic or whatever. So basically, the pitcher pitches, a computer reads if it's a ball or strike, and the umpire's told or something, and it's a ball or strike. I think that is too far. The human element is part of the game. It's played by human beings. And an important part of the game is the game between the pitcher, the catcher, and the umpire, where the pitcher and the catcher try to expand the strike zone as far as they can off the plate and get those pitches that just barely nick the corner. You know what I mean? Right on the black. A computer might call that a fucking ball, but if it's a fucking strike, because the pitcher has been in the strike zone all day, he throws one huge pitch that's perfectly framed by the catcher that just fucking nicks the edge of the strike zone, and a pitcher should get that call. You know what I mean? Because the catcher fucking made it look like a strike, and that's part of the game. And if it's not, it's going to cause huge problems, because professional hitters are going to easily figure out the exact strike zone.
Yes.
And they're going to just smash the ball at all times. You know what I mean? Or walk, because they're genius. They're very good at what they do. Hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in the world, they say. And these fuckers are locked in. So if they know the exact strike zone, it's just completely. Now I'm not trying to be one of these old guys, like, you know, keep everything the way it is at all times and don't advance things forward at all. But I think that you know, we could talk about the pitch clock if you'd like, but that's going to ruin the game legitimately, I feel like.
I'm conflicted because I thought about what you're saying about, like, almost like a video game, especially like when we were young in, say, Genesis NHL land, where once you figured out the correct combination of dekes back and forth to fool the goalie, you could beat any team 20-0.
Yes.
And it kind of feels similar to that, where once you know the exact strike zone, you will be able to figure out, even though it might be just on the edge, that'll be called a ball and you're not going to swing. I hear you. But then I thought about how, like, it's kind of similar to what tennis does, where now it's not every single ball being hit is determined by a computer, but, and I'm no tennis aficionado, I just know that each player has like a certain amount of challenges. And when they challenge, they then go to the computer. And it's like, it's pretty amazing how precise it is. So when they do challenge, like, it's definitive whether it's in or out. So maybe it could be something like that, where it's like you still have the umpire calling balls and strikes, and I don't know, like, not every batter, but maybe once an inning you can challenge a pitch. And like the amount of time it takes in tennis to challenge, it's like within 20 seconds. So it's a very quick thing. So it's not going to necessarily extend the game that much longer. And maybe even one challenge an inning is too much. I don't know. I'm just saying that, like, you know, I'm conflicted. There could be advantages. There could be disadvantages.
Yeah, for sure. I think a big problem, I mean, it is a great technological advancement, but I think they should get rid of the fucking strike zone on the TV broadcasts.
So that was another thing I was going to bring up, because, like, when Alec Boehm, who's, 8 feet tall up there, I swear it doesn't move up.
Yeah.
To, like, represent where his actual letters are on his jersey.
Yeah. And it also just, this is definitely going to devolve into me ranting against fans, but the strike zone on the screen, now everybody in the world's a fucking expert and thinks it's easy to call balls and strikes. You know what I mean? It's just annoying.
Well, and that's the other thing too, like what you're talking about with, like, nicking, the plate, or like a I don't know, like a Ranger Suarez throwing left-handed cutter on the hands of a right-handed batter, it might nick the front corner of the plate, but not the back corner.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how would the computer determine if that's a ball or a strike? I would consider that a strike, but the computer might consider that a ball.
Right.
I don't know.
Or like fucking the catcher is lined up on the inside part of the plate, and fucking Greg Maddux throws a 2-seam fastball that starts at the fucking pitcher's or the catcher's or the batter's hip, and then cuts in at the last second and hits the glove perfectly. You know, it looked like a ball until it hit his glove where he was set up right on the plate. Does the computer take that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know.
Or like you're saying about, you're kind of giving the pitcher the benefit of the doubt where catcher sets up, say, inside on the batter, but the pitcher misses his spot and it's outside, but it still catches the outside part of the plate.
Yeah.
The computer would call that a strike, but the ump will most likely call that a ball. And typically no one gives a shit because they're like, well, he missed his spot.
The catcher fucking dove across the plate.
Right.
And it's like so much of, I mean, if you ever see a fucking umpire wearing a camera on his helmet or whatever, and those pitches are coming in, the fuck are you looking at? Like, you know, so much of that is you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, of course he called that a ball. Like the dude dove, but yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just evolve or die, but it's like, just people in charge of everything don't seem to have sense, and they're trying to speed up the game. But okay, so
I've been digging the pitch clock, by the way.
Pitch clock's fine, right? That's okay. Here's what I don't like is that the pitcher gets 2 pickoff throws, and then if he tries to pick them off a third time and doesn't get him, then he goes to second base or whatever, right?
Yeah,
or it's a ball or something.
I don't know if I've seen that one in action, though. I don't know if I've seen a batter be able to take second, basically a balk, because someone tried to pick off 3 times.
Right. I feel like I have, but it's like, but then that's just, I don't like the rule. Okay, so pitch clock, pitcher and batter are both equally affected, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pitcher doesn't have as much time to fuck around, but neither does the batter. Batter has to get in, get set. Both are on the same playing field.
Yep.
The pickoff thing greatly, in my mind, hurts the pitcher more than the runner, because after 2 pickoff throws, that dude can run.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You can't really hold him on.
It's like, yeah, it's like that doesn't make sense. And sucks, honestly. Fix that rule. The bigger bases, great rule. You know, player safety, everyone's on an even playing field, great. It's just, I don't know.
I'm also not, I kind of liked it in theory before it was put into place, the ghost runner on second when it comes to extra innings.
Yeah.
And now that I've seen it for plenty of, I guess at least like, I think it was a COVID thing, so probably like 3 or 4 seasons now. And like it just so heavily is in favor of the home team.
100%. Yeah.
You know, you just got to like, yeah. I don't need to further explain. It
that
just kind of,
yeah, that's like corny and bad. I don't like it.
And I'm not saying I long for the days of watching my second baseman come into pitch in inning 18 or something.
No,
but like, I don't know. It just feels like a cheapened, unearned win, basically.
Yeah. And I mean, we're extra inning games that big of a problem? Like, you know what I mean? I'd like to see the stats on that. Like how often games went past the 11th inning even, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, I'm with you there. That sucks.
And then furthermore, what you're saying about the, like, you don't want to sound like a dinosaur, and you know, I want everything to stay the same. You know, another thing I to add into my conflicted stance is that I once was one of those guys that was like, no, the National League should
Oh
make the
yeah,
pitchers bat,
yeah, yeah.
And then like before it even happened, I was like, this is stupid. Pitchers should not be batting. This is
It's
such a
yeah.
waste of an at bat.
You're
They
being
don't.
yeah. It's like I was like holding on to that out of pride or something for being a National League guy, but
It
it
adds more
sucks.
strategy to the game,
Yeah,
And-
well, who cares?
yeah, and like right now, look at the Phillies 9-hole hitter, Johan Rojas, who is practically an automatic out,
Yeah. Yeah, pitchers hitting, don't miss that. Oh, a good rule I think is getting rid of the shift. That adds offense to the game for sure. And I like that a lot. I hated seeing a fucking
That was another one I thought I was going to dislike because it was like, well, if you're just pulling the ball constantly, learn how to spray the ball to all parts of the field. But now that I see it in action, I'm like, no, this is good.
Yeah. The second baseman should play second base, and the shortstop should play shortstop, and the third base should play third base. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's kind of similar. I guess off the top of my head, the best example would be why there's rules in football as to you need a certain amount of people on the line of scrimmage.
Right. The Phillies are in first place.
Mm-hmm.
The best they've looked in forever. Probably the best start they've had in my lifetime, aside from like 93 when I was 6. But, and this just is me being in places I shouldn't be. This is me being on Twitter, being on Facebook, knowing that these sites feed me shit just to upset me and still falling for it every time. This is the most, if I'm just going by what I see online, which I know I'm a smart man. I know is not real life and I know is bullshit. But just going from what I see and the snippets I'm forced to hear in the car when I turn it on, when I drive my dad's car and I accidentally hear 30 seconds of WIP. This is the most miserable, loser-filled, like just wants to be miserable no matter what fan base in the history of the world. And any talk of we're the best fan, most passionate fan base, we're the smartest fans is horse shit. You're all stupid. You want to be miserable. And all the teams should leave the city. This city, and this is the sports media in the city and the vocal fans of the city make sports not fun for real fans and especially for the players. Joel Embiid used to be a happy guy. Now he's like the most depressed man I've ever seen in my life. And it's just like these miserable fucking hoagie mouth, fat, sweaty losers hate happiness. And it's like one win, the like 500 wins in a row, and then one loss. And these pigs are just they're secretly so happy they lost so they can fucking complain about every single fucking thing. And it's just so disheartening to share this fan group with these fucking animals. It makes me sick. And I should be allowed to bring a taser to games and make people act right.
It's the easier emotion. And I mean, hell, I even see it with my dad and maybe he's just been.
I see it with my dad too.
Yeah. And like maybe he's just been addled by living here for as long as he has and reading the local news and hearing WIP his whole life. And like, it is just this negative cesspool. And it's like for instance, when he was over on Sunday, he was like, ugh, they lost 2 of 3 to the Colorado Rockies. The Colorado Rockies. I was like, Dad, they just had the most historical run since like baseball was invented.
Hundreds of years.
They were due.
Doesn't matter.
They were due.
They lost to the Rockies. I knew it was fake the whole time. I knew it was fake.
I was like, Ranger Suarez just had the most historical start to a season any Phillies pitcher has basically ever had.
Right.
He was also due. Like,
right.
It's
far and away number 1 Cy Young running. You know what I mean?
Like, it's just people forget that like it's cliche to just say something is baseball. It's like, well, this is how baseball works. It's like no one's gonna have a fucking 750 or 800% winning percentage for an entire season. It's just literally never happened. Like, chill the fuck out. Like, oh, and you're right. Like that, instead of taking a bird's eye view and being so appreciative as to how fun and how awesome this run has so far been, no, we got to take the low hanging fruit and bash them for reasons. And it's like, guys, like,
shut up.
Just shut up.
You suck. Like, this is okay. It's for children first and foremost, right? Yeah. And then we all like it too because it's still fun. But it's like, if it's ruining your fucking life, do something else. Like, you watch a TV series that has already aired and then read the entire thing and know what happens. So it's like, you won't be disappointed in any way. But it's like, no, you just want, it's like, it's abusive. The relationship's abusive. The fans are so abusive of the athletes. It's like you can never, ever be good enough for my extremely high standards. No matter what you do, it's never enough without absolute perfection. And even then, I'll find something to bitch about. It's like, why is this your leisure time? Like, I'm certain you're miserable at work. Like, there's no doubt about it that you're a miserable person at work. Your home life is probably bad.
I worry about the people that are in your immediate proximity in your home life.
Yeah, like, God, let's get a wellness check on them. But it's like, now this is your leisure time, your fun activity, what you do on your time off, how you spend your precious free hours that aren't being sucked up by your job and you're just, the bullshit you have to do to survive in society. This is your fun time. And this is how you act?
Yeah, this
like miserable? Fuck you.
It's also a loser coping mechanism of like, well, if I just like say they suck all the time, when they do disappoint me, I won't be as disappointed because I can say, told you so. And it's like,
you're a loser.
Just fuck you, man. Yeah, you're a loser.
You're a loser. You want to be a loser. Be a Browns fan. You know what I mean? It's like, there are fucking so many franchises in the four major sports. I'm not huffing, by the way.
I love how you just nonchalantly started to dust your keyboard or something.
But there are so many franchises. I mean, look at the fucking Oakland Athletics. Look at the fucking
Lions.
The Lions.
I mean, they were good last year, but they've been bad for so
forever.
long. Yeah.
And it's all ownership. We are so lucky that aside from the Sixers, like, we have no joke owner. Like, we're not the laughing stock of any sport, and even the Sixers aren't a laughing stock. I mean, us inside can see that the ownership group sucks and they got to go, and they'll never win with him. I mean, he's the fucking Devils owner. Fuck him. Fuck the Devils.
And now, Commanders owner.
What a fucking loser. But it's like, be grateful. Like we are very lucky. That's what I mean. This is another point, but why would the Sixers ever try to build an in-city arena when we have, as sports fans in Philadelphia, we were gifted the sports complex? You know what I mean? The perfect place to keep all idiot sports fans in one spot, so they're not bothering city residents, and there's a million fucking parking spots and nothing around. You know what I mean? It's just
the concept of a downtown sports arena, not just in Philly. I mean, we see it in other cities, is cool, but
to look at on TV.
Or like, I think I've never been there, but my brother has Wrigley in Chicago, like that. that is like in a cool spot in Chicago, like that, there's bars like right across the street, and just like that sounds like a great vibe. But I feel like because it was built so long ago is the only reason why it could work.
Yeah, it's a
Like
100-year-old stadium.
right. Like you can't just plop that in anywhere downtown Philly at this moment. Like it just would be, and just think about the traffic. Traffic is already a disaster. Like,
Right.
give me a
It's
break.
yeah.
Anyway, sorry, that's a totally different topic. But speaking of the Sixers, I not to pat myself on the back, but I think I have grown out of my like toxic fandom.
That's
And
good.
like this playoff run against the Knicks, I think showed that, where I watched the last game here in Philly, not at the game, but just like watched it, and still watched them lose and didn't really get that upset. Like, was I disappointed? Yeah,
Of course.
I'm a fan. But oh, hey, Brittany, thank you.
Thank you.
She just dropped the
Brittany
thing in
loves
the chat,
basketball.
said we look great.
Brittany, you're a queen.
But yeah, like the game that they lost to like be eliminated, I just genuinely felt like the Knicks outplayed them, and I was like, good on you guys. Now, did I want to rip Josh Hart's fucking head off for waving to the crowd as the seconds hit 0-0-0? Yeah, I fucking hate that douchebag. I hope he rots in hell. I don't give a shit that he went to Villanova.
Villanova
It pisses me the fuck off. That guy sucks. His whole career, he sucked. And then he went to the Knicks and still kind of sucked. But then against the Sixers, was like, oh, you know what? From three, I'm just going to randomly shoot.
Just hit the biggest fucking shots of my life.
Like, oh, cool. Yeah, of course. Now you're good. Thanks. It's like remember Cody Ross with the fucking Giants against the Phillies in that playoff run?
Fucking coward.
Fuck that guy. Anyway, sorry. That's my little rant about the Knicks and the Sixers.
Fuck the Knicks. It was deeply embarrassing how many fucking Knicks fans were in the building, but I mean, it's just a whole mess. Yeah, regular people are completely priced out of the building, especially during the playoffs. How the fuck are you going to get in there without spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's still cheaper than Madison Square Garden, so
right.
Knicks fans can get in cheaper here. It's just,
I think that's also a thing that's just like, it's never going to swing back to being affordable. It's just,
no,
that's sport. That's not unique to basketball. That's like all of sports. I mean, football is probably the biggest culprit of that. Like,
could you imagine trying, like, if you had, you and your wife and 2 kids wanted to go to the Phillies game and you weren't rich? Could you imagine trying to feed your kids there?
And that's probably the most affordable one.
And it's still like, oh, I'm going to get a single beer. Oh, sorry, I don't have $19. I'm not going to drink anything. Do you have water here? Oh, I don't have $10. I'll just drink out of the toilet, I guess.
Is there a water fountain somewhere?
Oh, we live in hell. Anyway, any other thoughts on sports?
I'll
tell you this. I got the WNBA package, and I've been watching a ton of WNBA, and I love it. And here's another Philadelphia thing. Like, I badly want Philadelphia to have a WNBA team, but then I think, what will these fucking pigs on WIP and on Twitter, these fucking absolute disgusting pigs, say about these women? I can't even imagine how horrid it would be. You know what I mean? I mean, first of all, like, men in general hate women. Ugly Philadelphian men really hate women in a fucking disturbing way. So it's just like, maybe it's better. And it's this is the first. It's easy to be a fan of the WNBA because there's so few teams, so you could really get involved with all of them. But being a fan far away, just viewing from afar, does have its perks. But I still want them to have a team, selfishly, so I could,
I think, whatever. I mean, and especially now, I do think there's a lot of hype around it because, Caitlin Clark just came into the league. And just her alone has created a lot of traffic.
The most there's ever been. It's the biggest buzz the league's ever had, for sure.
Yeah, and I've been kind of living vicariously through Twitter telling me what's going on in the WNBA and specifically Caitlin Clark. And I know that like she hasn't been outstanding, but someone like tweeted the other day, like, she's still been pretty good. Like, here's all of her stats. And like, look, she's not dropping 30 plus and shooting 9 from 12 from 3, but she's still not been awful. So like,
no, she still gets like 20 or 20 some games, but she's also getting her ass kicked physically by adult women. She's not in college anymore dominating. She's she's leveled up, and she definitely looks like she belongs. But nobody is going to come into the league and dominate that way. These are professionals. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
I mean,
you see her getting her, like, she's getting
beat up.
Yeah, as she should. That's what happens to rookies.
You definitely see it in hockey where guys come in at like 160, 170 pounds, and that just ain't enough muscle.
Hit the weight room, babe. You gotta bulk up. It's a fucking big league.
Yeah, when you run into like Alex Pietrangelo or
that's what worries me about this, about Michkov. Is that his name, Michkov?
Yep.
He's a little guy.
Yeah. And like even these fun like workout videos he's doing where he's wearing Flyers gear or whatever, he does look like me.
Yeah. It's and I mean, fans' hopes for this kid are impossibly high. Like, these people think Gretzky's coming over, and it's like, I'm excited too, but he's a small guy. And a very young guy. So, but we wish for the best.
I mean, one of my favorite pods they were kind of diving into just the hype around it, and it is warranted because, like, think about the last over a decade of Flyers. You had the 2012 run when they had that crazy series in the first round in the playoffs against the Penguins, and they beat them. But that's when they won the first game against the Devils, and then they lost 4 straight and kind of got curb stomped.
Yes, that sucked.
And then before that, it was the 2010 run. And all in that time, like, who were the big names? It was like 2012 was definitely Giroux, because at that point they had moved on from Richards and Carter. And same with 2010, it was like Richards and Carter were homegrown prospects, but like, there haven't been prospects with a ton of cachet and hype.
And they had the number 2 overall pick.
Yeah.
And it didn't pan out.
I know. Nolan Patrick, man.
Poor kid. I hope he's not like brain dead. You know what I mean?
For real.
Have a lot of troubles, but
he and like Ben Simmons and Carson Wentz, I kind of put into similar buckets where, like, at this point, I do just feel sympathy for them.
Yeah. Markelle Fultz.
Yeah. Like there was definitely some vitriol at first, like, man, you were a high draft pick and you didn't work out. And now I'm like, I don't know. I don't think these guys are right in the head.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like they need to just like talk to a therapist and
get their shit figured out. And
hopefully
they don't like spend all their money and just end up broke and sad. But what can you do? Anyway, I love sports.
Yeah, they're still entertaining, and even right now, like, was I watching the Pacers Knicks series to hope the Knicks lose? Yeah, but I'm still furthermore watching the Pacers Celtics. Like, I watched them get swept last night.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's weird how a little bit of my sports allegiance always was like, I love the NHL first, but now it's kind of shifted for some reason. I do really enjoy the NBA playoffs. There's just a lot of storylines. There's, I don't know what it is. I've like kind of like gravitated towards that now. I mean, maybe it was even just like the NHL banning Pride tape right at the beginning of the season. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this league.
Fuck that. Man, but the NBA's, this has got to be the worst all-time fucking finals I could possibly imagine. Dallas versus Boston. Oh my god.
Yeah, but there's star power there between like Doncic and Jason Tatum.
Both of which players I hate.
Really?
I'm not saying that it's not a star-studded affair, but fuck anybody with the Celtics jersey on.
Yes, fuck Boston. Sorry, let me
fuck Dallas
make that clear.
too. Fuck, I mean that I just that European bitch. Fuck him. He sucks.
It's funny.
He's good, obviously. And
for some reason, outside of the Cowboys, like the Dallas Stars, the Dallas Mavericks, and what's the sport I'm missing? Well, I guess baseball would be like
Texas Rangers.
Yeah, so like I don't somehow associate them with my hatred of the Dallas Cowboys. But sorry, I interrupted you.
No, me neither. But I just don't. I don't like Luka at all.
Well, furthermore, I despise Kyrie.
So. Right, you really hate Kyrie, so that's a tough team. But I don't care. I won't be watching. I'll be watching regular season. Sparks versus Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah, with baseball, I can't really get into just watching a casual Sunday night Astros versus Rangers game. Like I really only watch the Phillies.
That's me with pretty much every sport.
Oh, really?
Once the Flyers are out of it, I'm out. Once the Sixers are out of it, I'm out. I just don't have it in me anymore to become emotionally attached to someone else's team. I used to do it, but I got too much going on.
I find it pretty relaxing though, where for instance, the Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers, I don't have a horse in the race, so I can just objectively enjoy cool shit. Like when McDavid makes an amazing play. Wow, that was awesome. When Wyatt Johnson, a guy who no one knew his name until like the playoffs this year, is out there doing wild shit. I'm like, let's fucking go. Cool.
Yeah. Well, good for you and your all the freedom of time you have without a child. God bless you.
Hey, I got cats.
That's true.
I'm kidding. I mean, like
same. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they're very similar to raising a child.
Oh, fuck. I do have a child. He's 1 year old. I've made it a year, Tim. A full year.
Yeah. You and Keenan both.
Yeah. It's wild shit. Hell of a ride. That's never going to end. But I'm already sad. Like it's hard to, it's really difficult to explain how happy and sad every milestone makes you. Because you immediately miss, like, oh, he's walking now. It's like, yes, he's walking. It's amazing. But it's like, oh, what happened to my little tiny baby that could only crawl? You know what I mean? I mean, that's life. I guess that's what every parent goes through. But you just don't. I didn't get it. But now I do. And I wish I was nicer to my parents.
and even like even all of the documentation we can do now with photos and videos that is so accessible and so easy to do, it's still just not the same. I mean, we've talked about this with being at, say, like a concert and you're videoing a concert, and it's like, well, no, put your fucking phone down and just like live the moment. You know?
Just soak it in.
Yeah.
Man, have you been to any concerts recently?
No. Haven't been to the Phils yet. I guess the extent of my getting out of the house has been, I think I told you how I subscribe to the PHLY, like they call it their hardcore fans or something.
Okay.
But you get like exclusive content. You get to be part of like this Discord channel that it's just a bunch of Philly fans. But they've been like,
sounds fun.
It actually is. It is actually a good community because we all police ourselves to like, shut the fuck up when you're being too WIP over there, you know?
Yeah.
But like some of the podcast hosts, they've been like running around to like different just spots in the area. And now that I live in Philly, it's like easily accessible. So I'll just go hang out wherever they're hanging out. And just talk their ear about, or hell, I mean, I even shared with you that time I was
you were on their show on YouTube once.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, just keep angling to get your own show, and then bring me along.
Yeah, leave all you guys in the dust. Yeah, right. No, I'll try my best to bring you along.
You got the pipes for it, and I mean, you were such a natural. Because what was it? It was like, is that one of their flagship podcasts or something that you were on? What was it?
Yeah, so that was just like their Sixers podcast, and they were hanging out at this bar over in Jersey, and no one was there to really like say what's up, or maybe like a few people were there to say what's up to them, but
Yeah.
I specifically was there. I walked in, like, didn't go to the bar first, like went right to them and said like, "Hey, my name's Tim. I'm a hardcore fan."
Yeah.
Showed him my like little VIP hardcore card to like
Sick.
prove that I'm not just bullshitting them.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, like the one guy who, like, I think he's like a part owner or something. He happened to be there and he was like, "You want to be on the pod?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, man."
Yeah.
But yeah, they were there to watch. This was when the Sixers were out in LA to play the Clippers.
Mhm.
So James Harden. And this was during the stretch that they didn't have Embiid, and they ended up stomping them. I think they ended up winning by like 20. So
Yeah.
it was like I think it was like just during a commercial break, they just recorded that quick little thing with me. It was a blast.
And you were, I mean, you're an old pro. Like some people, I'm sure, being out and you get a random guy from the bar there to be on a commercial, like you could get an absolute dud. You know what I mean? And I'm sure they have. But you were there, you were a pro, you know what I mean? And we were very proud to see you up there.
Thank you.
It was very cool. But fuck them. I'm just kidding. So you listen to the Cuz or no?
So yeah, he's like, they regard him as this big get.
They have a fucking billboard with his big Italian face on it.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
The Cuz is back.
And like within the Discord, they talk about his show a ton, and they like think he is the bee's knees. And I have yet to listen to his show because I'm like, yeah, like I never had anything against Anthony Gargano when he was at WIP, but it's still just that regime.
He brings WIP energy with him to the area.
But I guess he's like got a following because people are into it.
Here's the thing, though. He left WIP, and they put him against WIP.
Yeah, he was on,
and he got his ass kicked. You know what I mean? He got fucking railroaded. Yeah, whatever. Let Italians do whatever they want. That's what I'm legally obligated to say. So we respect him, I guess.
Hey, the pasta fagioli.
Yo, cuz the Phillies, we got the most passionate fans. And, we know sports. Shut up.
I will admit, hand raised, I was wrong when the Chip Kelly era started to turn. This is when I was still listening to WIP before I really discovered podcasts. And so we're talking like 2014, 2015, and
a million years ago, by the way.
Right. But he was one of the first ones on there to be just really trashing Chip and being like, not trashing him, just being like, he's been figured out. The league adapted. He no longer has a fastball. Like it's over. And I was still in disbelief and denial. And he was fucking right. So clearly knows something about sports. I hear you. Like it's just that whole old school WIP mentality that's tough for me to like get back into.
Yeah. I'll kill him. But it's just podcast based, right? And do they have like a website with articles and stuff too, or is it all audio?
Both. It's and like you only have a limited access as just like a rando going to the PHLY website, but as a diehard, I'm sorry, I kept calling it hardcore. It's called
diehard. John McClane.
But yeah, that membership gets you like more written access as well.
So I saw the movie Iron Claw.
Oh, fuck yeah. Which I saw in theater.
You did see in theaters. I'm running on home release schedule, so I'm a few months behind theatrical release. But It's a fucking sad movie.
Yeah, man.
I wanted to talk about it with Brittany in depth on the Big Show this month, but Adam was there and he had not seen it yet, so we were kind of having that spoiler-free conversation that you have.
Does Adam like watch movies though?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I guess
yeah.
Is he into wrestling? So this would be something in his alley.
I don't know. But I certainly don't think Brittany is into wrestling, but she watched it. It's like it's a good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. And as a full-on wrestling fan, it did right by me, except for one thing that all wrestling fans are kind of annoyed by. It didn't ruin the movie for me by any means, but it's the actor's choice for how he portrayed Ric Flair was a bit just because Ric Flair is so famous. It's like did you watch a YouTube video or anything before this? Because it was just so not Ric Flair, but whatever. These are it is what it is. But some people are very upset by how not Ric Flair the Ric Flair was. But I just loved it. I loved the.
What do you mean by that though? Because like I remember in the movie, he seemed like the kind of crazed like cocaine.
Yeah, but it's just the cadence was wrong.
Okay.
For the heads, for the people that are like too far into this shit that can't get it out of them. But like Ric Flair and especially his promos are just so iconic. And it just didn't seem like this. It just watching was like, ooh, this isn't fit. But it was such a small part of the movie. But they should have just made an AI Ric Flair with CGI. It would have looked awesome.
Yeah, obviously.
Just but no.
De-aging all the actors that we do these days.
Spoilers coming up here if you want to skip ahead. But an incredibly sad story. In the movie, Kevin Von Erich, all three of his brothers die, including one that was a baby when he died. And then his brother David dies. And then
Kevin's Zac Efron.
Zac Efron.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. Then his other brother kills himself. Then his other brother kills himself. And it's all very sad. But I love dropping this factoid on people. And I did it to you, Tim. The real story, there is an additional brother who also killed himself. But the filmmaker thought that it was too sad and people wouldn't believe it. Like
last time we talked about, after I saw it in the theater and I basically said like, I wasn't prepared for this depressing of a story. And you were like, oh yeah. But then you said that. And I then like did some Wikipediaing and just like a little bit of research. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Tammy just looked at the poster and saw Zac Efron looking like a champion, thought it was just like a fun, movie where this guy is going to be a wrestler and it's going to be, you know what I mean?
Even and the trailer the trailer alluded to like there was going to be some heartache, but not from what actually happens. I was not prepared for that.
Not the tidal wave of fucking just tragedy
sorrow.
after tragedy after tragedy. This guy just eats. But yeah, and then she was like, I didn't know this movie's going to be this sad. I was like, yeah, sorry, I didn't warn you at all. But it was good. Everyone should check it out. Zac Efron is absolutely huge in the movie. Dude. Just jacked off his fucking gourd in an insane way. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, right.
Tan too, man. And he looked leather tan. Like, he had that leathered look to his face and stuff where it's like, whoa, you like there are people that are older that tanned too hard when they were young. And it was like I bet you hit a point where you're like, oh, I have some regrets, but you can't. Once that damage is done, there's no going back. I hope he's not at that point, but. And also, I've heard that he had some surgery on his jaw or something, because he definitely looks different.
Yeah, I mean, all that size he gained, his head just kind of got wider.
HGH head, yeah.
You know, like the Barry Bonds head. Where it's like, dude, like, we know you're doing steroids. It's
your
obvious.
head is grown. But he's still fucking hunk. And the guy that plays the bear, Jeremy Allen White, is playing Bruce Springsteen in a movie. Did you see this?
No, I didn't.
He's cast as Bruce Springsteen. Excited to see that. Season 3 of The Bear is coming out soon. Did you watch season 2?
Of course.
Season 3 is coming out. Everyone's over the moon for The Bear. We love The Bear.
I mean, even my brother, who doesn't consume a ton of pop culture, he I don't think I suggested it to him, but he must have stumbled upon The Bear, because next thing you knew, he was texting me like every day about it.
Did you see The Bear? Yeah. It was good. The Bear's good.
Yeah, The Bear's great.
Yeah.
It's a good, I mean, you know, speaking like you're talking about a wrestling movie and being a wrestling head where you can really like nerd out on certain things. It's like, yeah, being in the restaurant industry as long as I was, it's a pretty good depiction of how shit goes down.
Yeah. Yeah. Toxic.
Yeah.
Not a healthy environment. No, I thought it was good. Warren yelled at me before because I said that there are certainly parts of it that are corny, and he got pissed at me. But Warren, but Warren's quick to anger. But I said overall it's good.
I'll never forget. I like tweeted at you guys. It was like question of the week. What is your favorite thing to like put on? It might have been like your favorite thing to put on sweet potato fries. And I like mentioned a couple sauces, and I just said like the last thing you should be putting on a sweet potato fry is ketchup, because like you wouldn't put ketchup on like a baked sweet potato, or like if you made mashed sweet potatoes, you wouldn't cover them in ketchup. Like,
but wait a second, Tim. Would you do that to a baked regular potato?
True, you wouldn't do that.
But you'd put it on the fry.
Or like hash browns.
Okay.
I can live with hash brown ketchup on hash browns. Like it just makes, I mean, like my whole thing with putting ketchup on sweet potatoes is that people are so predisposed that because this thing is in fry form, I put ketchup on it. And it's like, look, I'm not, it's fine, whatever. To each his own, but I'm like, there's way better options for a sweet potato. Hell, there's even way better options for a fucking fry. But I'll just never forget, you guys brought up my comment, and like Warren just went in on it. He was like, I'll fucking put fucking ketchup on my motherfucking sweet potato fries because I'm a motherfucking adult. Fuck off. And I was like, whoa.
That sounds like our boy Warren. I love him. Listen to Doom Thugs Monthly. It already came out this month for a great story from Warren about shitting on a train. You're not going to want to miss that. It's an all-timer, folks.
Oof. Oh, no.
Give it a listen.
But yeah, sorry. Before we go, since we're talking about movies, I did catch Furiosa. It's rad.
That's like Tammy and we got to see that in IMAX. We have it on our schedule.
Definitely like different pacing and just like obviously different story than Fury Road. Clearly tied because it is a straight prequel to that movie. So like, I guess what I'm trying to get at is that it's like a little bit of a slower pace, but then all of a sudden, like midway through the movie, there's an action sequence where like, holy fucking shit. I'm just like, this guy, George Miller, man, he just like films action differently. That is just so incredible that, oh man, I was just like ear to ear smile, having a blast.
He rocks. I don't think they did him any favors. I think they put out the trailers too soon because the very early trailers, the CGI looked bad. And then it got better, which I think is a thing they do. Is like, don't put it out when it looks bad. It gives people a bad taste, right up the bat. But but George Miller's awesome. Mad Max was awesome, and I mean, I'm excited for Furious. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I still didn't get out to see Fall Guy. I think it's in a couple theaters still, but between the two movies, I heard both didn't do well box office, which I haven't personally looked up. I'm just speaking anecdotally, so that could be false by now. But it's just interesting that, like, especially Furiosa, with as well as Fury Road did, why this would bomb.
I don't know. It just didn't feel like it had any juice. You know what I mean? Like before, like there wasn't. I don't know. It just didn't seem to, for whatever reason, the lead up to it didn't build everyone up. You know what I mean? I don't know why. It's just one of those things.
But I don't think it's a referendum totally on people abandoning the theater, because like we still get shit like Barbenheimer that make $1 bazillion, and we still get the Top Gun Mavericks of the world that make that. I think that was a Memorial Day weekend release, and that made $1 gazillion. So like, I don't know. What about? Yeah, I think this is kind of a one-off as to why this didn't make money.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen Fall Guy either, but I am a Gosling guy. That dude is. I think he's great. I think he's so good in everything he's in. He's one of our. He's a movie star. You know what I mean? We're lucky to have him.
Right.
Thanks, Canada. You fucking pussies. He's ours now.
We will be getting Deadpool Wolverine soon enough. Speaking of Canada, the other Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Gonna skip that. Not for me. But I'm glad Hugh Jackman's still alive. I'm glad he's being Wolverine again after he said he'd never do it again.
I feel like it'll be simply fun and funny. I don't know how good of a movie it will be.
Mm-hmm. People love those movies. People love the Deadpool movies. It's just not for me, and that's fine. Not everything is, Tim. Get off my back. But no, it should be fun. And I guess TJ Miller's out because he is sexually violent and problematic. But what can you do, right? He was funny in Cloverfield. Okay. Give him a break.
He's out of my league.
He had a cameo. He had a small part in Get Him to the Greek, which was funny, which has him, Russell Brand. I'm pretty sure P. Diddy.
Yikes.
So if anyone doesn't remember, like if you haven't checked in on Russell Brand lately,
dude,
so obviously he went right wing because he's got a ton of allegations against him, all of which I believe. That dude's obviously a problem. Now he's gone beyond right wing. Timmy, our boy's now a Christian. Mm-hmm. What a fucking clown Russell Brand is. And not in a good way, because he's not funny. He just sucks. But now he's a Christian, as he says it. What a loser.
Now he's gone the way of like the last time I saw him come across like my Twitter feed, it's just these rants of nothing. Just absolute nonsense. I'm like, ooh. Speaking of guys that I'm like, I think you just need to like talk to a therapist. I worry.
No, I feel like he does. I feel like he. So there's people that go to therapy to get better, and I'm directly stealing this from Stavros Halkett, Stabby Baby. And then there's men who go to therapy to weaponize therapy language against women. And I feel like he's one of those. Like, if true sociopaths go to therapy, they just use it as fuel to seem normal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not to get help. That dude sucks. He's always sucked. He was never fucking funny. What was the fucking big deal?
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, man.
I never saw it. Is he funny in it?
I mean, he's not the funniest part of it, no. It's really Jason Segel. It's Paul Rudd's in it.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill, actually. Speaking of mildly problematic, but
more of an asshole.
Yeah. Or just a dickhead, but
yeah,
whatever.
not a predator, just a fucking, you don't want to date him because he's an asshole.
Right. Anyway.
That's a guy that uses that's a using therapy of language against women, saying shit like my boundaries. I don't like, just shut up, dude.
Amazing. I mean, in a bad way.
Yeah. I mean, I still love Superbad, dude. He's the man. Is he playing somebody in something? I don't know. That's a bad question. But did he just get cast in like a biopic of somebody famous, maybe? Are you looking it up?
I am. Upcoming.
Is he playing Jerry Garcia? Who's playing Jerry Garcia? Sorry, folks, about the silence. This is important stuff.
Very important. No, I don't think it's him.
Okay. Well, my life's fucking ruined. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, no problem. I'm here for you.
But anyway, we got our kids in bed. I think he's asleep. I'm off work tomorrow.
Birthday, Sal.
Happy birthday, Sal. I think we're going to get to watch a movie tonight. I'm fucking psyched. I'm drinking Coca-Cola at 9 p.m. because I'm trying to stay up late. Okay? Is it going to work? No.
You watched Iron Claw. What are you going to choose tonight?
Right. I don't know. The list is so long. I want to watch Saltburn.
That was good.
You like Saltburn?
Yeah.
I want to see Saltburn. I want to see so many fucking things. Everything that came out. I want to rewatch stuff, but it's goddamn.
Dune 2 just came out.
What?
Dune 2? Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like I've seen it in IMAX. It's like, I don't know if I want to.
Oh, okay. Right. You already saw it.
Yeah. I saw Dune 2.
That's right. Kat wanted to fire it up the other night, which we did. And within like 5 minutes, she was asking all of these questions. And I was like, remember when like Oscar Isaac, he like has the tooth and he like chomps on the tooth and it like kills everyone in the room. And she's looking at me like I had 3 heads. So I was like, it's one of the most important scenes in Dune 1.
Yeah.
You don't remember that? So we went back and watched Dune 1 the other night.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Still good?
Oh, yeah. Still great.
If they ever release that as one, like the whole saga in theaters on, in IMAX projected on 70 millimeter, would you go see it?
Oof. I mean, that would be almost a 6-hour viewing.
There'd be an intermission, obviously.
Right. But it'd be like, I'm sorry, 6 hours is exaggeration.
Maybe like 4.5 plus.
I think both are like over 230.
So 5 hours. It's not that
At
long.
least 5.
but maybe they cut it to, I don't know.
You got a good point though, because like they are, like I keep telling people, like Dune 2 picks up right where Dune 1 left off.
Yeah.
They're walking to that sietch or a hovel, basically.
Yeah. Folks, go to the fucking movies.
Yeah, man.
Get a big ass popcorn, get a soda, go with someone you love, or go by yourself. And
or like at Dune 2, if you buy the big ass popcorn, it doubles as a fleshlight.
Yes. Very important, folks. Stick your dick in it. If you're on a date with a chick, cut a hole in the bottom. When do you do that? I don't know. Do you take it to the bathroom? Do you just like poke a hole with your thumbnail or something? And then you have to be fully torqued to like jam it on there so it goes through the corn. What? I don't know, man. There's easier ways of getting your dick touched than all this.
Sticking in a popcorn bucket.
Yeah. Would you take Viagra or something to just be rock hard for no reason without even like any just the thought of getting the head of your dick, because it's probably going to get scratched. How do you grab popcorn? You going with the nails? You want that against the tip of your dick? A nail in your dick hole? Rethink this. Also, it's assault. Like tricking someone to touch your penis. Anyway.
And it's at the bottom, so it's just like all this buttery goo.
Yeah. Kernels and stuff in your pubes. Don't do it, folks. It may seem like a good idea, but it's not. Okay? Just enjoy the corn. Have fun. Hold the door for your date. Ask her how she felt about the film. Or ask him. Whoever's listening. Ask whoever you take about the movie, their thoughts. And then tell them your thoughts.
And then blast them on Twitter.
Drop them off at home. Say, hey, this was fun. I'd like to see you again. And then text them 100 times that night, even though they don't answer.
Again, naked.
Yeah, that was a fun date. What are you shaved? Oops, I accidentally sent you a picture of me in the shower. Accident.
Whoopsie.
But don't I look good? That's fuck. Anyway, Tim, it was good to talk to you. I hope you have a good night. You have work tomorrow?
Yep, work tomorrow. My one day in office.
Oh, shit.
Which is completely pointless, but, you know, corporate people got a corporate.
We got to play the game.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Is everyone else in office too?
On my team, yeah.
Right. I mean, you know, there's something to be said about seeing the peeps.
Yeah, it's nice, you know, and there are advantages, but, you know, whatever. The people that I actually would like to see is like the level 1 people, because they ask all sorts of questions to us, and just be nice to see them and like have direct access to them, because there's also shit they do that I don't understand, because they're the ones like dealing directly with the cops that we don't have to deal with.
No, thank you.
Yep. Back the blue.
Dude, have you ever heard of a restaurant called Mission Barbecue?
Yes.
Dude, have you ever been in it?
No, I know it was like founded by like a military person, I think.
There's every inch of the wall is covered in cop pictures, military pictures, some firefighters, and then one wall was all these football jerseys, and it said like written on the wall in like military type, like if you knew today was your last game, how hard would you play? I was like, what? This isn't a locker room. Nobody's playing football here, and nobody's in the, like, it's so much stolen valor of like cops, military, football players, like all this tough guy shit. It's a very aggressive environment to be in, and they're playing country music, but not anything good, just country music that's like, I actually respect the troops, even though everyone else doesn't. And like just very. This country is all about the military and God. That's all that matters to me. Fuck off.
I've heard it's actually good, and there is one.
The food's good.
Yeah,
dude, the food's good. That's why we go.
Yeah.
I mean, the environment is a 0.
Ambiance.
The food brings us back.
So Yelp review: ambiance 0, food 5.
Ambiance negative. Like, you feel under attack there.
But yeah, like, there's one in King
walls
of
this restaurant just said the N-word somehow. It's crazy.
I thought you were going a different direction. I thought you were going to be like, it's some like football jersey that says, you know, stand for the flag.
Oh, big time stand for the flag energy. Big time.
Oof.
But check it out. Food's good.
Cool.
Anyway, this episode is brought to you by Mission Barbecue.
And Fleshlight.
Stand for the anthem. Kneel for prayer or something. Shit. I always forget that. Warren's good at that phrase. I blew it. Anyway, I love you, Tim. Oh, real quick.
Uh-oh.
This is a very vitriolic episode, and I'm sorry. But you got to get this stuff out.
We're Philadelphians, man.
You got to get it out. There's a picture that the Wildwood Facebook page posted today.
Oh boy.
Of Memorial Day weekend. And first of all, it looked like hell on earth. I love the beach, but I don't go there on Memorial Day weekend. You couldn't get me there. No. Stay away.
Fuck that.
I mean, we're talking like, just a sea of people all on top of each other, just umbrellas everywhere. Just looks terrible. And there's people there that bring flagpoles, large, long flagpoles to hang on. The top flag is the cop flag, the black US flag with the blue line, which seems offensive. Like, I mean, it's offensive because it's some fascist bullshit. But if you're like all about the American flag, shouldn't you not be putting it in different colors? Isn't that wrong? Right?
It somehow feels like it's desecrating the flag as
Right.
much as they,
as
describe other ways to desecrate the flag or be disrespectful to it.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, continue.
And then under that, a Trump flag, obviously.
Clearly.
Now, the beach, is a shared space, and the vibes on the beach must be protected at all costs. You bringing from your dork house a flagpole with these fucking flags, you're there just to fuck up the vibe because you're like a right-wing troll loser. You know what I mean? I'm a very non-violent guy, but like, you see that guy putting that shit up, stomp his fucking head. You know what I mean? He wants to be beat up. He's a loser.
It's the ultimate troll thing. Like, no one used to do that pre-2016. No one.
Nobody.
No one's bringing down a fucking Ronald Reagan flag to the fucking Wildwood Beach.
No.
It's not a thing. Like,
my Clinton flag flies high. Does that piss you off?
Right. You're like I said, you're the ultimate troll. You're begging to for provocation. You're begging for me to say something about it so that you can get angry at me and call me a libtard or something. And it's just like, why, like, I don't know, like, fucking fly a flag of, like, I don't know, like the Avengers or something like that.
Or here's an idea. Leave the flagpole at home. You don't need it.
Or just something that everyone can rally around because it's typically mostly Philadelphians there. Bring down a fucking Sixers flag. Bring down an Eagles flag.
I got a gritty flag.
Cool. Yeah, that would get a lot of likes.
Yeah, but just
like
a
when
flag,
I
go, if you gotta have your personal beliefs, put an upside down pineapple on it. If you're a swinger, you know what I mean. But it's like, we're on the beach, we're on the sand to the ocean, from the boardwalk to the water. The sand, that is a politics-free zone. Nobody there has politics or cares about them. We're just here to be on the sand, be near the ocean, be away from the real world where that shit exists. The fucking beyond the fucking boardwalk, that's where fucking Trump exists. You know what I mean? On the fucking sand to the water's edge, nothing exists here but freedom. You know what I mean? That needs to be protected. And these fucking, like, if you're a dork like that, stay off the beach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's extension of the bar rules, man. No politics, no religion. Like, why is that down here?
This is an escape. We're escaping the world. We're on the literal edge of the world. Like, beyond this is just blue nothingness forever. When just let this one area be free of this bullshit. I mean, Biden flags don't exist, but I'd be just as pissed at anyone bringing like a Biden. You know what I mean? Just any
so
sort of political message out there is just like, you are a dork. You're a loser. You're like this like we were talking about. You're like this at the beach in your leisure time. You are a nightmare person in real life. You're just awful to be around. When your extended family finds out that for whatever reason you can't make it to a holiday dinner, they're relieved. They're like, oh, bullet dodged. That asshole's not coming. You reevaluate your entire life from the ground up because you're living it incorrectly. Your one precious life on this earth, you're fucking it up and you're making others worse. Oh,
I'm glad you got that out, man. I mean, it's not like my correlation would be, so like when Kat and I vacation in the Adirondacks, we're out in the boonies, quote unquote God's country, but it's so serene and so nice to just soak in the air the water, the trees, the wildlife. And no one up there is wearing any fucking political gear. No one's like bringing a flag and like hanging it on their cabin or something.
Yeah.
Like no one's doing that shit. Like, and even though I think most people are like my-minded people, even if that were not the case, like they just know that it's like off limits to that, you know?
Yeah.
It's a vacation destination. Yeah.
That's not why we're here.
It's not why we're here, man. We go out at 10 o'clock at night and sit in an Adirondack chair and stare up at the stars for an hour straight because you've never seen so many goddamn stars in your life because there's no light pollution up there. And you just kind of sit in silence, and occasionally you might crack a joke, and that's about it, you know?
Yeah. Man, that sounds really nice, Timmy.
Yeah. It's so rad.
All right. I gotta go.
Yeah.
That was great to talk to you, Tim.
Enjoy your movie, man. Always a blast.
Everyone listen to Pop Addled.
And everyone listen to the monthly Doom Thugs flagship show.
Of course. And Doom Addled will be back soon with another Tony Scott movie. And we love it. And we'll see you soon. Listen to the newest episode of Pop Addled with our dear friend Brian.
And Jim.
And Jim's on there too?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. That's so exciting. Great. Brian and Jim, we love you. I'll talk to you in the group chat. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.